Good morning, YouTube. How y'all doing? All right. Well, now now I'm losing my voice too on top of it. So we'll see how it goes. I guess it's scratchy mm, and sometimes it's you'll see. I'm sure you'll hear it in this video where I'll screech or something will happen. You'll see. Last time this happened, I was like this. I woke up the next morning. You know the deal. So we'll see what happens. All right. This is what I want to talk about, you guys. The very last video that I made, directed to Gypsy, I should have stressed it, and the point of that was more so of exposing Lifetime. I want Lifetime to answer for this shit. And if she can get out and get ahead of it, you know what I mean? And also, I'm letting her know, these people are fucking her, just so she knows, because she's too dumb to figure anything out ever. Just giving her, just helping her out there, that those people aren't doing her a favor. That's true. So, yeah, that was, I guess. But this main thing is, no, I want Lifetime to answer for this, man. Because they are shady as hell. They are despicable, okay? They are despicable. And they will do anything for money. Anything to cause a thing to get people to tune in again so their advertised dollars keep rolling in. That's all this is, man. Okay? And let's talk about a few despicable things they've done just in her show. Just in her show. Not to mention the myriad other crazy type shows they exploit little people. They're despicable. Of course, they're part owned by the Disney Corporation and the Hearst Corporation. If you don't know about the Hearst Corporation, well, that was with Patty Hearst. If you don't know about her, look into that. Her father. Guess what? Wealthy elites in the club. All right. And Disney. I guess we already know about Disney. We don't need to talk about that. So Lifetime's basically owned by the devil himself. But that's a whole nother video. All right. Let's talk about this. Okay. I already touched on this. First of all, Lifetime or any of them, when they do these reality shows, again, I hate to keep reiterating it though, but they follow these people, the subject of the show, around for hours and hours, videoing everything. Just like if you guys ever watched the show Project Runway or America's Next Top Model, even those type of reality shows, right? We're part of that scripted too, but they follow those, like the designers of the models or whatever the case is. They follow them around all the time. These cameras are around them like all the time, except for when they're like sleeping. For real. And then they cut it out. They just cut out, and the show's only on an hour or a week or whatever. You understand? They cut down just what they want for the most drama, for the most, let's get them to come back after the commercial break and all this shit. You know how it goes. It's all about money. Well, I touched on the whole orgasm thing the other day. They felt the need, and that was scripted. I mean, I'm not saying that what Gypsy said, her response saying she never had an orgasm, because that's crazy. That's crazy work. I'm not saying that they told her to say that. What I'm saying is that whole scene where they were told to bring that up. Do you think that they just set up to video them in the car like that they were being, you guys, that isn't real life. That's a TV show. They were being video and everything. There was a camera doing that. Those two sitting there talking about that. Just, so she could shame Ryan like that. Her new husband, and she just got out of prison. A woman's prison, where we know what was going on there. And she's saying, I've never ever had, do you know how disgusting? And that was just to shame and humiliate Ryan. And that was Lifetime's idea to put that in there. They felt the need for that 15 or 20-second little clip or whatever it was. They felt the need to put that in there for the whole world to see, to shame Ryan. Do you know how disgusting that is? On how many levels? That is disgusting, man. All right? That makes Ryan look like a real piece of shit. It's like, you're leaving her like that? I mean, if you got a little smoky or whatever, you can't help what you're issued, I suppose. But, you got a tongue. It's not like the whole setup is a difficult thing, right? If you don't know what you're doing, Ryan, have her grab your ears and take off. I hate to be crass and a bit of an ass, but it is what it is, guys. So that makes him look like a selfish fucking piece of shit. And that was the setup, guys. That was the setup. Ryan blows the top off of old little Smokey, and then he rolls over and he's done. And he's over there heating up like a furnace. And poor Gypsy's laying there, never gets to get off. I know that sounds crazy, guys, but that was the setup to Ryan is a selfish motherfucker. Because then what? Because what else did we have? Because remember, they had to paint Ryan a bad guy, and Lifetime was neck deep in that. That was Lifetime. They had to paint him a bad guy. The control nut, wanting to see why she's on her phone. Well, yeah, because she's whoring around with this other dude, supposedly. They had to paint him a bad guy, the control nut wacko, because they had to axe him so soon. They can't keep the persona of nice little sweet Gypsy, just did her time in prison. She was a victim of her mother, and she defended herself in essence through her boyfriend, and now she's out. And she's a sweet little girl, and she just wants to go on with her life. They couldn't make her look like the vixen whore that she is, tricked a man into marrying her in prison, and the minute she gets out, the wheels are turning to get rid of him, runs off to her parents' house just to avoid fucking him. We know the truth, right? We know the truth. Okay, so Lifetime set that up that way. Lifetime, remember, made him look like an asshole out to dinner, made him look like a control nut about her phone, and he's just always on top of me. No, you guys didn't see the other fucking 24 hours of the day, how he was probably just falling around kissing her ass, which would be annoying to me. I mean, I don't know, that's annoying. But anyway, it was him kissing her ass, trying his best to help to keep her to stay, is what it was. Okay? That's what the truth is. But Lifetime was in on that. Lifetime built that narrative because their fucking media darling couldn't get out of prison, dropped her husband that stood by her the whole time and actually married her in prison to run off with this other clown. And not only that, leave her husband that's a teacher, right? To take off with this other clown whose gayness can be seen from space. Do you understand? They had to set the narrative to make it look like him a complete piece of shit. That's to justify her leaving him like that. Come on, guys. And that was a Lifetime behind that because they had to make her have a good image. All right? And now she looks like a total piece of shit, so let's make her be a mommy. She lost her baby, guys. Show must go on, though. We got to improve that image of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Let's make her be a sweet little mommy. Who's going to call out and pick on a sweet little mommy? Well, fucking surprise, surprise, because she's not a sweet little mommy. If she was a mommy, I wouldn't be fucking with her. Not that I'm saying if a mother does an evil act, they're off limits, but if she really had a baby, I wouldn't be screwing with her. Why? Why? I would have said what I said about what she did tonight, and that would have been it. They're the ones carrying on this charade forever. So we got those in it. Now, let's talk about the other time that they set up Ryan Anderson to look like a piece of shit. Again, they take footage and follow him around, and they edit out what they want. And Lifetime targeted him. He should be suing Lifetime, is what he should be doing. They edited all that shit to make him look like a piece of shit animal. Okay? How about this? When she lied and said that when she was on that podcast, that now her parole officer said, you got to get off social media right away. You got to shut down TikTok and you got to shut it all down because you were trying to communicate with Nick via the podcast somehow through someone. Now, what a stretch, right? Now, we all know that she sold her soul and she's protected and that her parole officer got the phone call, he or she, that first day and said, let this bitch do whatever she wants. She's got 18 months or whatever, let her ride out. That's what they got the call and told her to do whatever she wants. Evidenced by the fact that the motherfucker did whatever she wanted, violated 100 different ways. Hundreds of people were calling them, emailing her parole, doing all these things. Nothing, to no avail, because she's protected and they told her to let her do what she wants. Guys, this is how it works. I'm not lying about any of this shit. I know what I'm talking about. That answers that. That's why she could do anything she wanted. The parole officer was told to let her. Okay, so if you think for 2 seconds that parole officer heard about a podcast and said, oh, yeah, you're trying, so you got to get off social media, which, did she ever get off social media? The answer is no. All that was two things, two-pronged. to make Ryan look like a control nut fucking freak, and all he cares about is money. Because remember, I'm just revenue. It's just revenue. No, he was making goddamn sense. All he was saying is, get the fucking money off of there. You don't need to even post, right? Come on, guys. Anyone knows that makes sense. And her parole officer, if this shit was for real and not a big sham, would have told her the same thing. Well, get the money off of there. Come on, man. All that man was saying is, well, baby, it's $6,000. Let's get the money off of there. Then you shut it down. Do what you want, girl. Do what you want. But let's get the money off there. That's revenue. Don't they know that? And he was absolutely right. And he knew the bitch was lying right to his face right there on what was about to be on national television. His wife, his new wife, supposedly, lying right to his fucking face. And it's going to be televised for the whole world to know it. And he knew it. Okay? Lifetime was behind that. Let's edit this and make it look like, because their whole thing was to make Ryan look like a piece of shit so they can get rid of him. Because there's no other way to explain her fake horror story with this light in the loafers, fucking jazz hands, fucking spirit fingers, motherfucker Ken Urker. There's no way else to explain it except to make him look like a piece of shit that she just had to leave. Okay? I mean, of course, anyone would just walk out the door, but then she would have looked like a piece of shit. Remember? They're trying to rehabilitate her persona and her image. That's what they're trying to do. That's what this is all about. Okay? She was promised fame and fortune. When she slit her mother's throat, they drained her blood, and she drank of the cup of the blood of the sacrifice. And it's a wrap. It's a done deal. They are going to try to help her. But she's listening to some other numbskulls, or she needs some new handlers. Because whoever's telling her to do the stupid shit she's doing is out of their fucking tree, man. But I've already discussed that. That video was not really to help her so much. That video was, I want to fuck Lifetime over. I want Lifetime on the hot spot in the corner. And she can do it. And Ryan can help her. Okay? And furthermore, this shit about Ryan, all I was saying about Ryan is all he has to do is say, I never took a DNA test. I was never court ordered to take a real DNA test, and I never took a real DNA test. Because then that's it. It's a wrap then. Louisiana law dictates it doesn't matter what the situation is. If a pregnancy occurred within the marriage, the husband is a presumed father, call them old-fashioned, and he will be tested first, period, or it's not a real thing. All Ryan has to do is say, I never got court ordered and never took a DNA test. That's all he's got to do, and it's a wrap. It's over with. That's all he's got to do. And that's the truth. But I want Lifetime to, that last video was about Lifetime answering. I am not excusing Gypsy for anything. I'm not excusing her. I'm not forgiving and all this shit. Fuck her. What she did to her mother, and then what she did to Nick, and then what she did to Ryan. Yeah, Ryan makes me sick, and he handled this all wrong. He should have got on the team and called this bitch out from jump, and then he'd be the hero, not the zero he's looking like right now. But he can turn it around. You can turn it around, Ryan. Just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. She's lying, and you never were court ordered. You never took a DNA test. That's all you got to do, bro. That's all you have to do. And the rest we'll take care of. I just want to point out what a piece of shit Lifetime is. And there was another instance I had too, but I've run out of time, of how disgusting they are, how they set shit up like that. Faked a whole pregnancy, man. And if they don't get ahead of it, they're going to throw them under the bus and make them look crazy. See you guys in the next video.